tack a little bit that will be of interest to sports enthusiasts. I'm joined by MJ Furlong from the Cloughbawn GA Club. Good morning to you, MJ.
Morning, Alan. How are you?
We've had lots of various fundraising events, but this is something I've never come across before. Probably people say it's happened before. What exactly are you guys working on up in Cloughbawn?
Well, Alan, it's a unique and a novel idea that I suppose we came up with maybe a year ago, but we didn't actually bring it to fruition until this year. It's a 24-hour hurling match. It's a 24-hour hurlathon is what we're calling it, and it's in conjunction with Guinness World Record attempt. It hasn't been logged with the Guinness World Record, so they've set a target of 24 hours to achieve the record. It's a fundraiser. As I say, GA clubs, I suppose, there's a lot of voluntary effort goes into it, and a lot of the money that's needed to run the clubs, run a GA club, has to come from either donations, fundraising, sponsorship, that kind of thing. Yeah. So we said we'd run with a novel idea this year to try and raise a few pounds.
You were competing with the motivation people who were outside the studio. They're gone from us there now. There was some hullabaloo out there, that's for sure. They were celebrating. You admire that, don't you? I mean, just stepping away from that, the fitness, you were looking there at what they've achieved. Achieved through a mixture of fitness and through diet.
Exactly. I mean, I've just listening for the last 10 minutes, Alan. I mean, they've great motivation, great dedication to what they're about. It's like sports, Alan, as you say, and I mean, you'll appreciate this. Someone mentioned to me recently that 24 hours, it's like running 6 marathons back to back. You know, you're into your running yourself, so you'll appreciate that. Yeah. There's a lot of dedication and motivation involved in achieving this. Guinness World Records have furnished us with some guidelines and criteria in order to achieve the record.
Let's look at that, because you say I'm into the running, I'm also into the hurling. I absolutely love the hurling. Yeah. To watch it in particular, not that there's ever any good at it, but I just love it as a sport. I think it's the most technical game of them all. Brilliant game. Exactly. How are you going to actually physically do it for 24 hours without explain how it's going to work?
The ins and outs, I suppose, of the game itself, Alan, is that we're allowed to have 50. It's a full game, 15 versus 15, 2 teams, and each team has 8 subs each. So that's 23, a panel of 23 per team. Now, if everybody plays an equal amount of time, okay, I mentioned 24 hours, but if everyone played an equal amount of time, I think there's a requirement that everyone would play 16 hours. Now, given an injury here and an injury there, it means that someone has to pay extra hours, throughout the day. But yeah, they've given us criteria. We're allowed a 5-minute break for every hour that we play. So you could play for maybe 3 hours and then take a break for 15 minutes. But we'll try maybe put a routine or some sort of structure in place on how we want to break up the 24 hours.
There's no sleep as such, MJ, is there?
No sleep. I mean, what I'm saying to the guys is maybe bring a sleeping bag or whatever and put it into the car. But the players, once the game starts at 6 o'clock on the Friday evening, the 22nd of June, the 46 players are not allowed to leave the premises, so they actually have to stay on the premises, so there's no going home for a couple of hours nap and come back again. So like I said, either get into the car or get into a sleeping bag in the handball alley.
And this is going ahead regardless, even if we've had some atrocious weather, so even if it buckets down, you guys are still going to do this.
Exactly.
Is it all fellas or some of the...
Sorry, yeah, it's all fellas. There's 3 adult teams in Cloughbawn, Alan, a senior team, junior team, and a junior B team. So there's a wide variety of personnel involved, between fitness and whatnot and age. I mean, we've a couple of lads who are minors, ranging up to people who are, I won't mention names or ages, but they're kind of 40 plus as such. So there's a wide variety of fitness levels there.
And is it purely for the club? You're trying to
it's all
raised for a club.
Exactly, yeah. Each of the players have sponsorship cards, and they're actively pursuing sponsorship at this stage.
But in addition to this, you're also going to try and break the Guinness World Record.
The Guinness World Record.
What is the Guinness World Record?
There isn't a record set with them at the moment, so I suppose your standard 70 minutes is all that or extra time, is all that's there. I believe that there was a 24-hour hurling match played down in Cork some years ago, but it wasn't recorded as a Guinness World Record, basically because they had a relay of over 200 or 300 people coming in and out and playing, so they didn't fit the criteria for the Guinness World Record. So this is definitely unique.
A little bit about the club, MJ, Cloughbawn itself and the actual parish itself. You're up around the Clonroach area, aren't you?
Yeah, there's 2 half parishes in Cloughbawn, Alan. There's Clonroach and Powell Pasty. and the GA pitch is kind of located kind of centrally between the two of them. We've developed the GA grounds in recent years. Over the last 10 years, we've 2 full-size pitches. We have state-of-the-art lighting facilities, floodlight facilities there in place. For the last couple of years, we have a hurling wall in place. We have a walking track, and there's a development plan there for the next 5 years as well.
And how many in numbers members would you have?
Off the top of my head, I couldn't say. Somewhere between up to.
Well, have you got a good underage structure?
Yeah, there's an underage board and oak structure there. They're very active. The kids love it. I mean, every evening you go to the field, there's under 8s, under 10s, 12s. There's always games going on. And again, it's part of this day. We have other side events going on in conjunction with the 24-hour match. We have underage blitzes going on the Friday night and through Saturday, and Camogie Blitz on Saturday afternoon as well.
What happens, because you know the fraternity that is the GA, there will be people who'd love to help in some way. What happens if, say, a former hurling great turns up, or one of the present squad, or some of the lads who would like to just tug out and muck in for a while? Are you taking more hurlers, or insurance-wise you've just got to stick with the lads you have? For the criteria meeting the Guinness World Record, you have to stick with the panel you have.
We can't, as I say, the 46 players that start at 6 o'clock on 6 o'clock on Friday will have to remain in place until 6 o'clock on Saturday. We can't add to that, or we can't detract from that either. They can't be replaced. So
happy to wear the helmets?
Oh yeah, full rules. Full rules. We've a rota of referees in place with 5 referees to cover the full 24 hours. We'll have a scorekeeper. We have physiotherapies. There's it's a lot of logistics involved in running the match.
What sort of pace is the match going to be played at, MJ? Because it's the fastest game I've ever seen anyway.
It is, the fastest game in the world is it's known as. But I mean, the first hour or two, obviously, when the adrenaline is going, people, I can imagine the intensity might be a bit high. Certainly throughout the Friday night, I can see it certainly dropping somewhat. So we have a few lads who like to take their time over freeze and stuff.
When they say that cornerback has gone asleep, he might literally have gone asleep.
Exactly. Yeah. Then on the Saturday when we have, as I say, we've other events taking place throughout the Saturday. We've a barbecue going. We'll have a shop. We'll have face painting. As I said, there's underage blitz, Camogie Blitz. There's we're actually having duck races and sheep races, and there's a lot of activities there to draw people into the place. So look at it; it's going to be a fun day for everybody. It's
a great part of the world, and I've been up there for a few between Jude's talent shows and the various talent shows you've had in the hall there. There's a great sense of community in Cloughbawn, isn't there?
Exactly. I mean, this thought came about from 1 or 2 players initially, and we thought it'd be a great idea for a bit of a fundraiser.
I have one question on a person I went to school with, Ger Flood. Is he talking out?
Ger, it's funny you should ask. I actually I approached Ger last week to see if he was available on that day with a kind of a mentoring position in mind.
What excuse did he give?
He was a bit disappointed to think there was only a mentoring. He was hoping that he was going to get a start.
Right. But all right, tell him to remember the CBS is 75 and get tugged out again.
Very good.
Listen, MJ, wish you the very best. Look, we'll have to get up there. Mr. Spratt and myself will get up there to record a package on it. It sounds fantastic. Yeah, it's, as I say, the whole club is getting behind it. There's a good buzz among the place. We have a Facebook page, Cloughbawn 24-hour Hurlathon. It's getting loads of attractions, and we have updates regularly. We're hoping to have some special guests arriving on the day, some inter-county hurlers, inter-county footballers, a few other special guests. But they will be updating our Facebook page throughout the next week or two. And after it, you'll never want to look at a hurl for about a month. Oh, look at it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. But I think the players are enthusiastic about it and looking forward to it. Right, well, we let the wing back from Castletown, who's on the control desk next door to us, Danny, round off the show. Let him pick a piece of music. We wish you the very best of luck. There's no hurls are like up in Castletown, by the way. No. Yeah. I know the football, I suppose. Yeah. We'll give him that. All right, we'll talk to you tomorrow between 10 and 12 for the Wednesday edition of the Morning Mix. Good morning to you.